Hello everybody, this is Miss Xiao here. Today, I will be doing construction to draw angles making use of a protractor. Questions here are taken from Step Up Maths Primary 4 by Fan Maths with reference to pages 47 to 50. Use a protractor to draw the following angles, then mark them. So we want to draw angle ABC equals to 30 degrees. Now, angle ABC, the angle that you draw, the angle comes from where B is, the point B is. So, with the given line AB, this is where you put the protractor at. So I'm going to mark it out. Put the protractor at B. Okay, so if this is B, I'm going to place the protractor here. So my center of the protractor goes onto the end of the point where B is at. Alright, and I am going to mark out 30 degrees. Now, if my line is here and I want to mark out 30 degrees angle, I have to look at the scale where it starts from 0, because I cannot count from 180 degrees backwards, right? So if we count from 0, we are going to look at the inner scale. Okay, so 10 degrees, 20 degrees, and 30 degrees on the inner scale. Now this is where I will mark it out, the point where it shows 30 degrees. Okay, perhaps I'll make it a little darker so you can see. Now, so how do I draw the angle? Next, I use a ruler and I joined point B to this point where it is marked out at 30 degrees. Okay, and label 30 degrees. Now I have one more thing to do. This is angle ABC. So I have A and B. This point here has to be point C. So this will be the first part of the question. Okay, so just to check, yes, we have 30 degrees. Now let's take a look at the next question, 5B. Angle EFG equals to 120 degrees. Where do we place our protractor on? Well, if you remember from the first question, we place our protractor in accordance to the second letter, the middle letter that is being mentioned. So we look at point F, and that's where we place the protractor on. Next, we are going to measure 120 degrees. Okay, so this is the line. If we measure 120 degrees, we have to start from the scale that says 0, right? We can't measure from 180 degrees. So the scale that starts from 0 will be the inner scale this time round. So let's look at where 120 degrees is. It goes beyond a right angle. 120 is here. Yes? Now, so I'm going to mark out 120 degrees. Okay, over here. This shall be my point G, E, F, G. G is here. Now my last step would be to join from point F to point G. So ruler, pencil, join. This is my angle. I mark it out as 120 degrees. Next, let's take a look at the third part of the question. Angle XYZ equals to 60 degrees. Very quickly, where do we place our protractor? At the middle letter, where Y is. So this time round, Y is over here. Let's place our protractor against it. Alright, and we need to measure from this point up all the way. Okay, so our angle starts from 0 over here on the left hand side. Now, which scale starts from 0 on the left hand side? It's the outer scale. So let's move all the way up from 0 to 60 degrees. And this is where we will end off at 60 degrees. Okay. X, Y, Z. Okay, this must be point Z. Last step, we connect point Y to point Z using a ruler and a pencil. And we mark out the angle 60 degrees. So far, so good. All right, we continue. Following page. Another 3 more questions. Now they are asking for an angle that is between 100 and 110 degrees. Hey, what's missing here? There are no lines drawn for you. So you have to mark out your own straight line. Okay, so that's the first step. Let's mark it out. So using a ruler, well, I'm just going to mark out something that's about, say, perhaps 5 centimeters. Okay, thereabout. Okay, 5 centimeters. And if I am going to draw an angle between 100 and 110 degrees, I need to know where my start point is first. Okay, so let's say this is my start point. Okay, this is where I am going to put my protractor. Now, I place my protractor here at the start point, and I start to measure an angle that is between 100 and 110 degrees. So I have to start from here. I start from 0. This will be my inner scale, right? Okay, all the way. This is 100 degrees. Now between 100 and 110 degrees, okay, I have quite a bit of a range that I can draw my angle, as long as I have my angle in between, okay, 100 and 110. Let's say I draw a 100. A marker at 106 degrees, okay? I put a small little marking, and lastly, I connect the 2 points. This will be my angle, okay? So I mark it out, 106 degrees. Of course, you can mark out an angle anywhere between 100 and 110. For example, 108 degrees, that's possible as well. Moving on, let's take a look at the next one. An angle between 70 and 80 degrees. Similarly, let's draw a straight line first. Okay. I mark out the point where I want to place my protractor on. So let's say if I want to mark out this point, okay, my protractor will be placed here. Following that, I look out for an angle between 70 and 80 degrees. So you note that my angle looks something like this. It starts from here, right? So I need to refer to the inner scale because it starts from 0. So this is 70 degrees. This is 80. Let me mark out 75 degrees. So in the middle, right smack in the middle of 70 and 80 degrees is 75. Connect the points together to each other. Okay, so this will be 75 degrees. Lastly, for this question, an angle between 150 and 160 degrees. Start out by drawing a straight line. For this last question, I would like to mark out my point on the right hand side. Place the protractor against it. Now, which scale do I need to read from? This is my line here. So if I were to draw an angle, the angle should start reading from this point. So we read from the outer scale. Okay, so between 150 and 160, 150 is here, 160 is here. So let's say if I were to mark an angle 155 degrees. Okay, I have it over here. I join the 2 points to each other, and this will be 155 degrees. Yeah. Okay. In my next recording, I will be drawing angles with reference to given vertices and lines. So stay tuned.